Hello, this is Cordell, and this is my story. My arrival to the real estate industry was like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. While is in the cocoon, if you slice it too early, it will not become a butterfly. It has to go through the whole process. And let's say life before real estate, I was like a caterpillar. I had a lot of legs. Those legs were my business ideas. I had many business ideas, some of which I would just buy website domains because I had an idea of how I can make some money off of it by creating a business. Some websites turned to actual products. I sold flowers, men's ties with matching socks, lapel pins that I customized, sent them off to China to get made. I had basketball apparel, art printed on metal. I wrote some self-improvement books. I sold women's apparel. I sold products on Amazon. I sold products on my Shopify websites. Even went to wineries to sell some products. I hosted conferences. I did public speaking. And my wife would always say, "Man, why can't you just focus on one thing?" I said, "I can't. It's too hard for me. I get all these business ideas coming out of my ears." And shortly after that, I had proof of what I was saying. You see, at my job, everyone was assigned to take this personality test by Gallup, and it measured your top 5 strengths. So out of, let's say, 40 different characteristics, you take some tests and they say, okay, bam, here are your top 5. And my number one strength is ideation, which is basically having a lot of creativity. Now, once I knew what my strengths were, it recommended for me to focus on those along with my other 4 and how to go about my life focusing on my strengths. Now, although I did all this work with my business ideas, I didn't get paid like I should have. The reason why was I was like an octopus on roller skates, having lots of action, but no direction. And one day I read online about a man named Willie Sutton. He was around during the 1930s, the 40s, Prohibition era, and he spent his life, majority of his life in crime. And he was once on the FBI most wanted list. Now, when he got caught, he used to rob a lot of banks. And a reporter asked him, why did he rob banks? And he said, that is because that's where the money is. Now, that got me thinking. Here I am doing this and doing that, making $20 profit, which is not nothing. I mean, if I'm selling thousands of units, but that wasn't the case. And I realized that the real money is in real estate. And from that point on, I started to reflect on my journey of self-improvement. In the year around 2006 is when I first got introduced to self-improvement through books, through audio recordings on self-improvement. And I got really addicted to it and started to grow. And I started to see the changes in my life. And around 2008, I got my real estate license. I worked with a commercial mortgage company, and that effort faded away. There was bad economy, but at the same time, I was distracted with my quote unquote creativity and doing all these other business ideas when honestly, I should have just stuck with real estate, learning and growing. And they say that when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, that's so true for me, making a change to real estate and getting back into the game. When I got back into the game, I hit it hard. I started buying all kinds of books on real estate finance, commercial real estate development books. I even flew from Oakland to Mexico to go to a real estate boot camp. I read and listened to many, many podcasts on real estate syndication. And that is where you get a group of investors together. And as a group, the group makes a purchase on a property. They split the proceeds. But the person who's founding the group, they call the group sponsor, they're the ones that get paid the most. Now, one thing they state is that when a person is trying to do this, to find deals, find investors, they need to be known, liked, and trusted. As you know, this process of having good relationships works in all fields. And you just don't come up to a person you find attractive and say, will you marry me? It takes work. So just like trying to do some real estate business, it's not that first point of contact. You're going to meet somebody and then, okay, you can say that I can work with you or vice versa. So I knew that this was going to be not an overnight process. That's why I started my website, Small Apartment Investors, thinking that I could put a lot of content on the website and host my own meetings. And with people that were interested, they would come. One day I had a conversation with a coworker and we talked about real estate. He didn't know what I was up to, but he did know that I had a lot of side hustles. He said, "Why don't you just get your real estate license? You can make a lot more money selling real estate." And that got me thinking, he's right. By getting my license, that can help me be credible. I knew I wanted to do commercial real estate. I knew I only wanted to focus on apartments. And the reason why apartments is because for my own self, the ultimate goal is I want to own apartments. I want to get the cash flow so that I can, live kind of free, out the rat race. Now, I thought if I become the research king of apartments, where I educate myself on all aspects of owning and managing apartments, combined with my self-improvement teachings, I can become an asset to current and future owners. So after I got my license, I can decide what route I wanted to go. Do I want to go property management or do I want to go sales? I first thought, okay, let's do property management. I researched companies in Oakland that had good reviews, looked at their websites. I called on one company and one person. They weren't there. I left a package that I made for them, handwritten, no response. A call, left a phone message, no response. I found another property management, sent a nice email to the owner, went in person the next few days to cold call on them and said, "Hey, I'm Cordell. I gave you email, the other day." He said, "Oh yeah." He shook my hand. He said, "I got it. I will respond to you basically in a couple of days." Did he respond? No. So what did I do? Keep it moving. And so I went through another similar process with another company. And I said, you know what? This must be a sign. I think doing sales is the route I should go. And I thought, why not? My first job out of college was in outside sales. I did well. And as a former basketball player, I have the mentality for outside sales. So I called a few commercial sales brokerages. What do you think would happen? Yep, no phone calls back. And during this time, I was reading a book by Gary Keller, who was a co-founder of Keller Williams Real Estate Agency business. And he had his book, one of his books that he wrote that I read called Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And he states for agents to succeed, they must focus on the 3 L's, which is listings, leads, and leverage. So leverage is like leverage your time, leverage technology, and so forth. So it starts with leads, right? So I said, okay, let me go on LoopNet, which is the commercial real estate website for listings. I look for who's posting the most listings on the website. And one guy stood out, Steve Pagonis. I reached out to him. He called me back. We had a great conversation. I came in for a formal meeting and then joined his team. Now I'm on their team, and my mission of Small Apartment Investors is still there. Now, to enhance my vision, I have started Apartment Owners Wisdom, which hosts live events where I bring in small apartment owners for education and networking. So there you go. That's my story so far. I'm excited to be on this journey, and I know that great things are going to happen for me. Please continue to check out my website, smalapartmentinvestors.com, because I'm trying to do my best to fill that information up with self-improvement information as well as skill sets regards to managing and investing in apartments. See you later. And remember, when you change, everything else will change.